IP or intellectual property is all about owning the creations that come from your mind. Let's say you wrote a song, that song is yours, and IP ensures you have the power to decide how it's used. Now imagine working every day on that song, only to see it stolen and misused. For years you have had to rely on centralized platforms, publishers, and intermediaries to protect and share your work. But these systems are often slow, unfair, and costly. And with artificial intelligence advancing fast, it's getting even harder to maintain control over your intellectual property. But what if I told you there might be a solution called Story? Story is a peer-to-peer intellectual property network that gives creators the power to protect, share, and monetize their ideas directly. I know it sounds complicated, so in this video we are going to explore what Story is, how Story works, and what the tokenomics of the IP token are. So let's get started. Alright, so what exactly is Story? Put simply, Story is a network built to solve the lack of transparency, ownership, and fairness in intellectual property. Traditional systems rely on centralized organizations such as publishers and patent offices to manage and protect intellectual property. These systems often take a significant cut of the profits, make the process complicated, and leave creators without full control of their work. Story aims to change that. It's a platform where creators can directly protect and monetize their work. For example, investors, researchers, or artists can upload their creation to Story, register it on the network, and set their own rules for how it can be used. So you might be wondering, how does Story work exactly? At its core, Story is powered by blockchain technology, which makes the ecosystem more secure and transparent. Every intellectual property asset registered on Story is stored on a universal ledger. Think of it as a digital notebook that's shared across the world. This ledger ensures that we always know who created what, when they created it, and how it can be used. What makes Story different from other blockchains is its programmable intellectual property. Imagine uploading a song and setting it so that it's free for personal projects but requires a payment for commercial use. Those rules are embedded directly into the asset, and Story system ensures they're automatically followed. Story also uses something called Proof of Creativity Protocol. This is a system that makes sure a piece of creative work like a song, invention, or research is original and belongs to the person claiming it. It keeps a record of this work on a secure blockchain so everyone can see who owns it and how it can be used. This ensures creators stay in control of their ideas while getting paid when someone uses their creation. Now let's take a deeper look at the technology behind Story. The system is divided into three main layers. While this might sound complex, I'll break it down in simple terms. The execution layer is where all the action happens. This layer processes transactions and runs smart contracts. Story is particularly strong here because of its multi-core design. This means it has specialized cores, think of lanes on a highway, for handling specific tasks. Next is the storage layer, which is like a filing cabinet for data. When you upload intellectual property, smaller pieces of data like a song are stored directly on the blockchain. Larger files like videos are stored off-chain using other systems. This keeps costs low while ensuring the data remains accessible and secure. Finally, there is the consensus layer, which keeps everything running smoothly. This layer ensures that all network participants agree on what's true. For example, if someone tries to falsely claim ownership of an idea, the consensus layer will prevent it. Story uses a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, which makes this process fast and energy efficient. Together, these three layers form a system that's scalable, secure, and built to handle future innovations like integrating with other blockchains or supporting artificial intelligence ecosystems. Now let's talk about Story's tokenomics. The native token of the Story network is called IP. Here's how it works. Whenever someone registers intellectual property, licenses it, or earns royalties from it, they're using IP tokens. Validators who help run the network also stake these tokens to ensure the system remains secure. If a validator acts dishonestly, they lose their stake tokens. On the other hand, if they do a good job, they earn additional IP tokens as rewards. Story takes things one step further with what it calls IP-Fi, or Intellectual Property Finance. Creators can use their intellectual property like a financial asset. For example, they can sell fractional ownership of a song to investors. In total, there will only ever be 1 billion IP tokens, and the initial distribution was as follows. 38.4% was allocated to the ecosystem and community, 21.6% to early backers, 20% to core contributors, 10% to initial incentives, and the final 10% was allocated to the foundation. Summing it up, Story is trying to give control back to creators while making it easier for businesses and users to access the content they need legally and fairly. Of course, as with any cryptocurrency project, Story's success depends on adoption. It needs creators, developers, and organizations to see its full potential. But if it lives up to its vision, Story could become the go-to platform for anyone looking to protect, share, and build upon great ideas. As always, nothing is ever guaranteed in cryptocurrencies, and you should always do your own research. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.